Hi YouTube. Today I want to talk to you about maps. So if we're all bugging out, where are we going and how are we going to get there? Most of us are going to be relying on our sat-navs, our mapping on our mobile phones, but if you're going to be dependent on electrical appliances, you've got to be able to charge them off the grid. So yes, we can charge them off of our vehicles, but when you get out the vehicle and you walk away, you've got to be able to recharge that unit, otherwise it's useless. Okay YouTube, so here's my sat-nav. You know, it's a electrically powered gadget, plugs into the dashboard of the car. That's how I recharge it. It's got every street in the country in it. It's a great gadget. When I get out the car, I'll put this in my pocket and walk away. Within 24 hours, it's going to be useless. Another great gadget then is the mapping on my iPhone. You know, all the time I've got power, it's a brilliant device. As soon as I walk away, again, I'm going to need to be able to recharge this off of the grid or it's going to be useless. My chosen tool for recharging my devices off the grid is the Goal Zero's Nomad 7. Now this is a solar charger, rigid panels, using it presently on Arctic expeditions. It's robust and it will charge all of your mobile devices. It claims to charge a mobile phone within 1 hour. What you're looking at here is just my very basic paper Bugout map. So on it, it's got every major road in the country, every town, every village. It gives me general direction with a compass. It's a very good aid that I can just put in my pocket. But sooner or later it's not going to be enough. What I've got to complement it is a tough map. So this tough map, it's got plasticized pages, it's a waterproof book. It gives me a much greater detail of the country. It also gives me every forestry and wilderness location. It gives me every major river and tributary. It gives me bridges. It's an ideal book. It also gives me a square mile of every city in the country with regards to a street map. You know, it's called a tough map, so now I've got the whole country covered so far. But I'm going to need more detail than that. Here's a road atlas of the Greater London area, so everything within our major orbital motorway. 7.2 million people live in this book. As soon as a paper map is printed, it's out of date. But this book will get me within 2 streets of anywhere I want to go in Greater London. So far I've got 3 books. Okay, here's another map that you should lay your hands on. The map that you actually live on. So I live on this Ordnance Survey map. This map is a 1 in 25,000 map. It's 4 centimetres to 1 kilometre or 2.5 inches to 1 mile. And I live on this map. So if you look at my video, Floods, Are We Ready? I found St Mary's Church, the ruined St Mary's Church on high ground at 270 feet or 90 metres on this map, and it's 15 minutes from my house. Sometimes if we're bugging out, we're not going to be going hundreds of miles. We're just going to be going to a safe location. Make sure you have the map that you live on. Okay YouTube, so where are we going to bug out to? Wherever your bug out location is, I'm sure you know the way there like the back of your hand. But during a major event, it may be flooding where roads are closed, it may be a civil disturbance where the local authorities have physically closed roads, it may be some sort of radioactive event. You know, look at the nuclear power station in Japan. A map is going to give you half a dozen alternate routes. You're going to be able to navigate around flooding, around road closures. What I've got here is 4 maps from wilderness locations that I am planning to retreat to. But I know these locations like the back of my hand. I've grown up there. I've lived in some of these places. I've served there during my time in the military. I've had recreational weeks away. They're places that I'm familiar with. They're places that I revisit, you know, once a year. These are my bug out locations, and I've got detailed maps of them. Get a tourist outdoor guide for the area that you are going to bug out to. This is what I'm talking about. Great local routes, right down to 10-15 meters on the ground, giving you local landmarks, like I say, routes of access, great fishing spots, the type of wildlife that use this area. It's going to be invaluable. So what if the event we have is bigger than the United Kingdom? What happens if we have a Chernobyl, or we have a incident like the Japanese nuclear event that we've all just seen? You know, 10,000 people killed, 100,000 people forced to relocate. If we had a nuclear incident in the UK, we're all heading to Europe. It's a standing joke that the French will be sorting our problem out. The centre of Paris is a little over 300 miles from the centre of London, so not a massive distance at all. Another thing we're going to need is a compass. So this is a prismatic compass, military spec, 360 degrees or 6,400 mils. The military mils system is obviously twice as accurate as degrees. Your compass should have a scale on it that enables you to measure physical distances on your map. So 1 in 25,000, 1 in 50,000. An inch will represent, you know, a mile, 2 miles, 4 miles. Whatever the scale is, it will tell you what it is on your map. You need to be able to use a compass. This is the compass out of my EDC, a very basic little compass made by Silver. It's got a thermometer on it, gives you a general direction, and really that's all you're going to need most of the time. Staying with technology, I've got a compass app on my iPhone. Let's get that open for you. This is pretty accurate. I've tested it out. Bear in mind that it only points to magnetic north, but it's a great aid. You know, if you've got an app on your mobile phone, it's a compass, use it. If you're anything like me, you know, I'm just in my early 50s, but my eyesight's starting to fade. This is a gadget that's priceless. It's a map magnifier. It's got a little torch on it. It magnifies your map times 4 and times 8. So you can have all the maps in the world, but if you can't read them, they're not going to be a lot of use to you. Map magnifier, priceless bit of kit. Okay, let's just go over what we got. If you're going to rely on technology, make sure you can recharge it off of the grid. Get the map that you live on. Get detailed waterproof maps of your nearest city centre location. My main travel map has given me 1,000 miles. My bug out locations that I'm going to. Detailed Ordnance Survey maps of wilderness areas that you are bugging out to. Don't forget how useful local guides can be. Finally, get yourself a compass and learn how to use it. Don't forget this tip about a map magnifier. It's a great gadget, especially at night. Okay YouTube, these are my maps. They live in my vehicle 24 hours a day. They sit there ready and waiting. Detailed local information right up to European travel. If you're going to use a map, you know, what you definitely need to do is keep it clean and dry. If it gets wet, it's useless. So lay your hands on a good map case. Cheers YouTube. Okay YouTube, that's my bug out maps. Any comments, love to hear them. If you've got any ideas of your own, please share them. Look forward to your comments. Bye for now.